Hey everyone, Joshua Kirk here with you once again, and I wanted to come on here and give you guys actually a little update on the channel going forward and what I'm going to be doing in the next year or so, because I've got quite a bit of plans here, and things are going to be a little different this year, I think. And in this video, I will address as to why that is. So as you all know, I've been on YouTube for years now, and I've been reviewing albums for over 10 years now, and music is still a big passion of mine, and I definitely enjoy reviewing an album, telling you what I like about maybe the lyrical content or the way it's produced or the way basically the entire package is put together. And it helps. I only do reviews of albums I really like, so that makes this whole thing that much more fun for me. But anyway, so that brings me to the first thing I want to address, which is the reviews. And the first thing I will just throw out there is the fact that there's probably not going to be as many album reviews this year, or maybe even in the near future, as there used to be. Not that I don't like doing it anymore, but it's but, you know, I kind of have other projects that I want to focus on as well. And in a way, if I'm being totally honest, I think my interest in reviewing albums may be waning just a little bit. And so there will probably, if I feel that inspired to review an album and you know, love an album enough that I feel like I could do an entire like 20 plus minute video essay on it, I'll do a review of it. But it just won't happen as often. So bear with me on that. Like, I still like doing album reviews. There's just gonna be a slight decrease in them this year. And also another thing, when I do album reviews, I have decided to not use scores anymore. A few people in my comments a couple of times have said, you know, what's the point of really scoring each album you review if you only do positive reviews and only give albums like 8, 9, or 10? So thus, for that reason, I will not be scoring albums when I review them, because let's be real here, scores are kind of pointless, because, you know, your opinion of an album and how you feel about an album, or basically anything, scoring it doesn't really tell the whole story as to how you really feel about it. There's layers to your relationship with an album and all these things. And no offense to the people that do still use it, but I have noticed a few other reviewers online have, including Mark Grondin of Spectrum Pulse, have decided not to use scores anymore, and in a way I like that kind of better, because it allows, you know, it enables me to like focus on the content a little more of the review, and kind of enables more people, I think, to focus on that and not just automatically go to the description, look up their favorite and least favorite tracks and the score and think that they've got the point, because you don't. You know, there's layers to how you feel about an album. It's an album, and yeah, I just and you know, that kind of inspired me to be like, hey, well, I only do positive reviews on YouTube and only really give a few scores, so why not just abandon scores altogether? Except, if I hear an album that I think is a 10, that I think is an absolute masterpiece or something, I'll give it a 10, just because it's just fun when an album feels like not just an album, but like an event, like a masterpiece, like a achievement. So yes, from time to time you may see me whip out a 10 out of 10 for certain albums, but other than that, no more scores for my reviews. Now on to the next thing I want to mention, which is going to be focusing on other projects that I have planned for the year ahead. For those of you who don't know, I have been doing a lot of collab videos the last couple of years with my friend Brian, who runs a channel known as Channel BK, and I am the co-host of a series I do with him called What's on Repeat, where we talk about new albums, new singles that we're into, and we try to stick to stuff we've actually have been listening to on a daily basis. So basically new music that we were into. It used to be like we talked about albums, we talked about singles, and then after that we talked about like an artist that we were anticipating new material from, or concerts we've been to, and there's even one instance where we both did a classic album, which was kind of fun. So I'm going to be focusing on doing that, and I will be pretty involved with the channel, with that channel as well. And we're kind of stripping it back a little bit, and obviously I'm not going to tell you as to why, but you'll probably find out once Brian and I do our first episode, which is going to be shot and filmed and uploaded by sometime in March 2022. And also I have a fun little rank 'em video that Brian and I have decided to do this year that will come out probably midway through 2022. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it is for an artist's discography, and I'm really looking forward to it. Obviously, you'll find out who it is when I do the video, but I had so much fun last year when I did another episode of Rank 'em with him. It's this series he used to do on his channel, on one of his other channels, Us and Our Friends, that is now kind of, he's sort of, focusing more on doing videos for his own channel now. But that was sort of his collab channel that he did with some of his friends. And he had this series called Rank 'em, where he would be with one of his friends, and they would rank all sorts of things, whether it be albums by a musical artist, or movie franchises, or fast food restaurants. And I did one of them with him, and it was a ranking of Radiohead albums, which, of course, is not surprising coming from me, considering Radiohead is my favorite band of all time. But we plan on doing another rank 'em this year, and like I said, it'll be a surprise, but I'm really looking forward to that in the future. So yes, I'm going to be a little more heavily involved with Brian's channel, Channel BK as well, and yeah, shout out to you, Brian, you're the best. Another project that I want to highlight is actually upcoming podcast episodes. I mean, obviously, I don't have officially planned when my next interviews are, but there are at least a couple of artists that have agreed to be on my podcast, and I'm really looking forward to it, and that'll be a surprise as well. But if you've been watching some of my reviews lately, you will notice that the artists I bring onto the pod are actually artists whose albums I've reviewed, and I'm basically bringing them on here to my channel to talk about, with the musicians that made the record, and kind of how it was all assembled and produced, and sort of the rollout of the record, or in kind of the aftermath, like the album cycle itself. And I really enjoyed being able to do that this year with the two interviews I did with Phoebe Bridgers and John Ross, the frontman of Wild Pink. It was really one of the coolest things I got to do last year. Because they felt very professional, and that the artists really took it seriously and really dedicated a lot of time and energy to it, as much as I did when I did all my research and putting together all my questions and everything. And I'm looking forward to doing more of that this year. And I hope to do at least 2 or maybe even 3 podcast episodes. But then again, I'm reaching out to multiple people, and really only some of them can really come through and try to fit this into their schedule since artists are touring again finally. That's definitely another project that I definitely want to focus on, and that I'm really looking forward to doing more of that. And as much as I love doing my album reviews still and doing that whole thing, I think the other projects that I've been doing over the last couple of years and will continue to focus on this year are kind of time consuming themselves, and plus I'm a little more interested in making that sort of content now, so that's why I came on here to tell you that that's what I have planned for 2022 and maybe even the next year. And the final thing I want to highlight is not necessarily part of the update, but I just want to say to all of you that have stuck with me since I started reviewing albums and have kind of been along for this whole ride, one thing I just want to say to you all is thank you. Thank you for supporting me, your passion, your gratitude, your love of my content. It really means a lot to me and really inspires me to just keep doing it and keep making really impressive and interesting content for you guys. I've reviewed almost 300 albums, and obviously I don't stand by every review I've ever done because, hey, opinions change, we all know that, but still, I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for you all and kind of the support you all give me, and that's something that really that's something that people really shouldn't take for granted. Is just how the reason they do things like this is because of the people that watch their content, really support them, listen to all their thoughts and opinions, and just give them nothing but sort of positive feedback. So I'm very grateful for that, and I know that considering how all of you are with me and in terms of with my videos, I'm pretty sure all of you will understand why I making this video and why I felt it was important that I address plans for the channel going forward, especially considering that the reviews just won't happen as often as they used to. But yeah, I predict that a lot of you will understand, and I don't really imagine there will be too many people being like, oh, why are you not doing any more reviews? Because really, really I'm doing what's best for me, and hopefully it'll work out for all of you as well. So yeah, that's about all I wanted to highlight for this channel update. If you have any suggestions or maybe even a few questions as to certain things or how maybe certain content will roll out, comments are down there. Feel free to share them with me, and if you have any questions, I'd be willing to answer them and sort of give you a better idea as to the scenario here. But I still enjoy doing YouTube videos, and yeah, it's my passion, and I want to continue to pursue that into the near future. And thank you all for listening in and understanding what I had to address here. So yeah, this is Joshua Kirk, signing off.